I love you. I love you. Welcome to Center of Light. Yanovites. We're going into the land of freedom and foreverness, and it's our togetherness that will get us there. Let's have some fun, shall we? What else do we have to do? Hello, Laura on YouTube. Hello, everyone on YouNow, a new platform I've been using. I'm going to refresh YouTube so I can keep up with both forums, at least Facebook and YouTube. David says, we love us all. We sure do. Tonight is Center of Light. You know, I always have two names. Center of Light Meditation, and then I have a title. Falling In, or Center of Light, I want my, whatever. Well, tonight is no different, but it's funny, cute, opens up the playing field for a little haha. Hello, Kelly Bird. Tonight is Center of Light Surely. S-U-R-E-L-Y, Surely. Well, surely. And the subtitle is Temple. So tonight is Center of Light Surely Temple. Center of Light Surely Temple. Surely. That's where we need to dwell, is in the temple. Hello, Kelly Bauman. Tonight is going to be same, but full throttle. I'm going to be sharing with you via my connection to Swamji, God on Earth, who I'm blessed to be around. I'm going to play some videos with Swamji later. Many years ago, talked about this time now. We're going to go very ancient as well. We're going to go prophetic as well. And I'm going to step into an arena that I have to, simply because I have to. I've been afraid of it. I'm no longer afraid of it, because it is what it is. To many people, it may seem controversial. It will be. I'm okay with that. I hope it's not, and I'm okay with that. Some people may scoff. Some people may laugh. Some people may run. Some people may criticize, ridicule, point finger, run away as fast as they can. I really don't care, but know that I do care about those and everyone. This is the level of the playing field that I will be playing in the cosmic sandbox. Why I'm here, why you are here, why we are here, and what is it that we are doing. You look at this banner I created today. Has lots of implications, but the book cover is not always what it seems in its interior. Exterior-wise, this is very, very true. This has nothing whatsoever to do with those who have been or won't or will, and the others just won't ever do it. Getting inoculated has nothing to do with that. Nothing. Zero. An absolute zero of a thing. What it has to do with is freedom. Keith, I don't see it in your way. That's fine. I love you all the same. That's the same way you love me. That's the same way you love me. But your freedom is trying to be squashed. But right now on the earth stage, it happens to look like this. Whether you choose that or not is irrelevant. We need to look at the elephant in the room. This is a presentation you don't want your young ones to hear. This is nothing about fear, but for all of us to become clear, not only minded, but clear-hearted, so we can understand the absolute, in and of itself, importance of what is going on What is going to happen, no, let me rephrase that. What is going on, what is going to happen, but in the truth of it all, is already happened as to why Swamiji is going to share some things. I caught some things he said in some interviews I've done with him. Him making certain body gestures while he's saying certain words. I was like, oh my God. I am going to be revealing something to you tonight, and I have to. I don't want to, but I have to. Because I have to, I want to. Let me get to my monologue. Let me look at you now. Hello, Byron Games. Let me pull up my notes. Welcome to Center of Light, Shirley. Tonight is Temple. Center of Light, Shirley, Temple. I am going to be here for a while. When I say a while, it could possibly be right about an hour and a half or a little better than that. Tonight is a huge, not only because of my platform, today, at least for me, coming to this realization, but basically rather said, this time period right here, right now, is landmark for where we are in the ascension game. This is huge, I tell you. This is full circle from the meetings I had with Swamiji over the years. At least for me. Tonight, today, this period, this week, today, is huge. I had an amazing dream, and I don't mean a dream, a lucid experience last night. I woke up this morning, and when I woke up this morning when I woke up was more illusory than the hyper-conscious state I was in last night during this experience. I'm going to read you what I got up at about 4 o'clock this morning and actually typed it in my phone when it was fresh in my mind. 2,000 years ago, unconsciousness and ignorance was what brought about the trouble in the world, as well as Christ, the Redeemer of humanity. But that same unconsciousness and ignorance is what opened the door for an alien race to come in and to attack. You can choose not to take what is being said here tonight out of context. Either way. If you stick around through this presentation, or come back when you can, you will understand everything by the time we get to the end. If you understand this message, you are truly ahead of the game and will know how to prepare your inner self for what is very possibly coming. Hello, Melinda. I know we need to be in the now moment, but tomorrow is going to be a now moment, and the next day is going to be a now moment. So step by step, we increase our now moment awareness so we can continue this beautiful play we call life. You don't leave the earth just yet, do you? Well, that's the point. And we're all here on a mission. We're all here on a mission. No one is better than the other. Everyone has a piece of the pie. The divine pie. You want whipped cream on that? But also the divine pie, P-I. What is the formula for pie? So there you go. There's your analogy. Welcome to Center of Light, everyone. I say with this, I proceed with this with the humblest of hearts, the most gratitude for being able to come to earth and be a lover of humanity. I came yet again. There are 3 others, split incarnations of John the Baptist that exist upon the earth today. The soul of John the Baptist has split 4 times. I am one of them. How do I know this? I have memories of it. I've also been told by Swamiji. And I know this also by the other synchronicities in my life. I am here to yet again, as I have before many times, announce the arrival of Jesus, the personality of Christ that we all relate to. Doesn't make me special. It makes me a lover of you. In Moses' time, the Israelites crossed the Jordan River to reach the land or the kingdom where God dwells, the river of freedom. John, back when, blessed people in the Jordan River so they can find their inner freedom. This is where we are now. And I am announcing the arrival of the Christ on earth. And the fact that I'm announcing my mission here, as well as all of us, we're all of the John the Baptist mission. We're all here to announce the arrival of the Christ principle. That means if I'm announcing this, not only is he here as I've been sharing, he's going to show it real soon. Keith, I'm not interested in all that. I have no investment of being right. And so I'm writing myself to say, I am open to all possibilities. And that window is completely stretched wide open. And I strongly suggest that you open yourself up so that the window within yourself can push that very Christ light out itself. Because you see, this time around, it's not only about the arrival of a one, it's about the arrival of everyone, of you and me and the we of it all. Tonight I'm going to be showing you some initiations that I went through with Swamiji. Initiations that we all go through. If you are here, you are a disciple of Swamiji. Because he is the backbone, the Yanava of everything I do. So you are a Yanavite. Bob says one light. David White says Patmos. This is where we are. It sounds far-fetched. Fiction is greater than what we call truth or reality. So I'm going to be showing some initiations I went through with Swamiji as an aspiring yogi, like we all are, to come into my fullest possible self to do the work that I am here to do. This is not about me. This is a declaration as a spiritual teacher, as a reincarnated avatar, which I will not be achieving full divine status in this lifetime. I will not. I'm supposed to stay in the human meat suit, to be that bridge, crossing the bridge to the soul. This is where I'm doing my most work this lifetime. Most people don't know. They always relate to John the Baptist as his head being cut off. This was true. Most people don't realize or know of the fact, in fact, I would say no one, except you right here and right now, and only one other person by the name of William, famous spiritual teacher out of Nashville, that John the Baptist, his hands were also cut off. Why didn't they post that in the scripture? Because hands represent the ability of power to grasp, control in a good way. I'm here to offer something with my hands. So they want to cut, they cut it off and they hit that away. But they do want to tell you about cutting his head off because it's humiliating. Like a slap in the face. I would rather get punched in the mouth than slapped across the face. You get the point? So this banner is not about the negative affirmations. It's not. It's about bringing us to an absolute point of awareness of where we are in this game as to why we are here. There's a bitch storm coming. A spiritual blizzard is coming. And I'm going to lay down some ideas and principles, models, methods, techniques, inspirations that's going to help, even including myself. I'm still a student in all of this. I'm open to everything that comes through my vessel, your vessel. I am open. I am completely open. I don't know squat. But the things I do know about, I get behind them 100% and love in it, live in it, and push with all of my fervor, my passion, sincerity, humility, and vulnerability. Because that is what we're all are here to do. David says define avatar. Someone who in a past life or in a present life was illumined, completely, fully illumined. A God-realized soul. Swamiji is that God-realized soul. Jesus is that God-realized soul. Buddha, Krishna, Paramahansa Yogananda. Some of your relatives who never spoke about who and what they are and what they do. Avatar. All right, here we go. I feel better now that I made that announcement without jacking around all the edges of it, because I've touched on it in little bits here and there. I feel better. Thank you. My dialogue with Spirit many years ago. So how do I get comfortable? And I asked Spirit starts off, Keith, I see you wanting to get higher, but as the many aspects of your life are becoming finalized, I also observe the fear that is causing you to resist the changes that are taking place. My son, change is inevitable. Hello, 2021. Just wait and see. This was 1996. Just wait and see. The more you close the old doors of your life, the more new ones will open for you. And I asked a question, or comment, asked a question. So how do I to walk confidently through them? All you can do is prepare for what may lie ahead. The clearer you become by doing self-work, the fewer fears will crop up, and no matter what door you find yourself approaching, you will begin to recognize it for the opportunity it is. Indeed, as the path you are seeking begins to announce itself, with more and more certainty, surely tonight is Center of Light Shirley Temple, you will not feel comfortable unless you walk it. You already know this. This search you have embarked upon pulls at your heartstrings. It nudges you to keep moving towards God's peace. Spirit continues. How pleased I am that you are beginning to see at last that acknowledging any pattern is the halfway point to change. The other half, as you also know, is to keep doing the actual work, to totally commit to your new ways by resisting every temptation to go back to the old. Old world, which is dead as of almost 2 years ago. New world, hello. Hold yourself steady as you would a magnifying glass in the sun. As you would a magnifying glass in the sun. A little longer each time until a clearer image of your path is burned into your consciousness. Know that just because the sun sets, it does not mean that your day's work is done. Changing your life patterns is a 24/7 job. One more thing you have not yet learned as you have played life over and over is how assigning guilt, those out there doing the inoculations and the attack on freedom, we don't like it. You don't have to like it, but blame goes nowhere. In fact, blame is still offering your own sovereignty, your power away. One more thing you have not yet learned as you've played life over and over is how assigning guilt to someone only nullifies your own power and leaves you both with hopeless, angry thoughts. So here's another guideline for you. Each time you point the finger at someone else, you might as well be pointing it at yourself. With my guidance, maybe this time you will be able to stay centered in the heart so that when your karma does show up again, you will not do what you have always done before. React. Maybe this time you will do your best to forgive and love just because you can. Dearest ones, what you should want to become, what you should want to be overcome by is that aha, I've got it feeling. And you get that when you come from love, not from fear. You will not believe how much easier it is to carry the torch of enlightenment through life than it is to bear the burden of ignorance, fear, and pain. And I asked, so what should I be paying attention to? Your feelings, Keith, your feelings. Because how you feel will let you gauge the thoughts that you are choosing. As long as you stay in your mind, the outside world can influence you. The attack. To make more bad choices, and that will only delay your time of peace. And I respond, but what's out there seems so real. Yes, the physical world is temptingly convincing, but when you realize that it does not exist for you if you are not there to acknowledge it. If you keep on investing yourself in the outside, which by its very nature isn't forever in a state of flux, how can you ever expect to become still enough to find my peace within yourself? I needed to hear that. And I say, who knows? And Spirit says, I do. And I say, really? Then tell me. This is going to stings me. Who knows? I do. And I say, well, really? Then tell me. Spirit says, when you choose to. When you choose to. You create your own reality in every moment by your thoughts, perceptions, judgments, and actions. Peace is a state of mind. Bliss is a state of heart. Heaven is a state of being. Again, we go back to the basics. The kingdom of God cometh with observation. Neither shall they say, lo here or lo there. For behold, the kingdom of God is within you. Luke 17:20-21. Scripture offers this passage to one and all. Still, many consider me, meaning God, to be a separate reality and never let themselves see the connection between us. I got a lot of stuff here. Lots. Whew. Keep moving. Can you understand why people are not willing to change their thinking? Like you, most live with deeply rooted beliefs reinforced from their past and their past lives. More than likely, this explanation does not surprise you, Keith, because you know what it has taken for you to move through your own I am separate from God belief. But the fact remains that the world about in this passage of Scripture, everyone must do the requisite work. The good news is that the truth process has already begun. I'm going to move through some of this. There is truly a lot. It is not difficult to find malfeasance of all kinds revealing itself. Governments are being exposed for what they do. Officials of some religious denominations now face challenges because they have chosen to sweep their clergymen's deeds under the rug. Schools are full of too little learning and too much violence. And the economy, well, 1996 this was. It seems that many of the institutions that the world assumed were stable are showing some definite signs of breaking down. I tell you again that if humanity were in alignment with the divine will, it would not be in its present condition. But rest assured, this condition in the new millennium. That is when the entire world will find itself submerged in absolute God change. Hello, Kelly. And that is when it will become mandatory, as it is now. Mandated, if you will. And that is when it will become mandatory for everyone to question everything they believe to be true. As you all begin to meditate upon the enigma of God, you will have no choice but to re-examine what you think to be divine. The correct choice, the only choice for you to heed, is the one that encourages you to use the divine principles and spiritual laws to move through the duality of right and wrong. In closing, in this reading segment, Keith, you know what fear, you know your fears come from what you were taught about me long ago. Still, that doesn't mean I am that way. I am not about the praise and punishment that you were subjected to as a child. Do not forget that you are the one who has chosen to live in this world of duality that mirrors everything you are. Once you decide to take up full responsibility for creating your experience, you will be afraid of nothing. Hello, Kelly. Hello, my brother Scott. Moving on. Tonight is about this potential bitch of a beautiful storm coming. Tonight is very controversial. I understand. You will not shake me. The image is not about those who did or didn't, will or won't. It's about your freedom is under attack. So, why not know where we are in the game, scripturally, prophetically, given to all of us, but me as a teacher and through this Center of Light platform, speaking with Swamji, God on Earth Today. Don't you want to know that something's waiting behind a building to attack you? A dog? An assailant? Wouldn't you want to know that? I would. Wouldn't you also want to know when someone wants to give you some love in your heart, kiss on your face to say, you know what? I know where you're going. Go this way. That's the place you're looking for. I would. This is the purpose of gurus. A student-guru relationship can never be broken. As you know, we all have our own. Continuing on before we get to the video segment of tonight's presentation. Center of Light Shirley. S-U-R-E-L-Y. Shirley, certainly, Shirley. Center of Light Shirley. Tonight's presentation is Temple. So keeping things on the lighter side, tonight is Center of Light Shirley Temple. Why not? Moving forward, before we get to some video action, maybe you can use this time to go take a break. I'm going to be here for a while. We understand the potential of all realities. What we're living in right now, again, this is not a negative affirmation. We're living in the space where not the doors, there are no doors. On Earth, we think there are doors, but there's only a door. The door. One door. The door. And that door holds the magic or the tragic. It's always been this way. Now the door, in fact, the door has been taken off the hinges and widened. So we're living in the space of all possibility, from grace to disgrace. This is the space. Looking at this from a spiritual, scriptural, prophetic, commonsensical, logical, but more than those two is the real you, the intuitive you that says, there's a shitstorm coming. So instead of leaning more into the negative of it, it's not a negative at all. Because in the bang of such possibility is the bang of all possibility. The atom was split with the wrong intention. That same atom split with love to mention would create the same bang, but in a more delicious, wanting kind of way. Let's look at this banner as we go into a prophetic statement given by Nostradamus. Look at this banner. Look at the background. Doesn't look so pretty, does it? We don't have to be prophetic about the foreground. That's obvious. This is about an attack on your sovereignty, on your freedom, whether you choose an inoculation or not. Nostradamus' prophecy, his third quatrain, Mavis is predicted to die in a campaign to unite all nations. Nostradamus predicts this will start the end of days. You can't deny that. And in the view of most historians, this references World War III. It's not about boom, boom, boom. It's about vaxxed. Spiritual warfare. not really the vaxxed, but taking away your freedom, which happens to guise itself through such a way. Also, most historians believe this attempt by Mavis to unite all nations is a reference to the Middle East conflict. Upon the death of Mavis or Mabus, Nostradamus states that the bear, Russia, the eagle, America, will unite against the snake and the dragon. Russia, America, eagle, bear, snake, Iran, dragon, China. Think about all the icons of all these flags that we see. A possible reference to the United States as the eagle, Russia as the bear, China as the dragon, and Iran as the snake. Russia's role in working with the USA has started. So now we're going to go into the video segment. This is going to be about a while. Take your time to go get some water. If you're in it through this presentation, not that you don't already know these things, or believe these things are possible, but it's my intent by working 6-7 hours today, fashioning this together. Don't look at me, look at you. That's why I'm here, because I love you and I love looking at you, being with you, my dear. It'll help even bring things home for me. I'm looking to see. All right, let me see which video I'm going to start with. Again, this is not about frightening you. It's about enlightening you to something. What's the worst thing that can happen? You gonna die? I get it, I'm with you. We're all going to die. So you see, in this way, purpose so surpasses the mortal to the immortal. But let's get real. Let's look at things honestly, and therefore become clear, and therefore change all that we hold dear. So let's look at this banner. The divine avatar, which means divine descent, you're going to see, and I'm fortunate to be with, whenever he blesses me with that grace, when you're around such a being, you have no will of your own, really. It engulfs you, it encompasses you, it surrounds you with such grace and love and power. Listen with your ear, more so listen with your heart. His dialect is a little hard, but if you let go, you will hear it. Let me read you what I want to point out to you to key in on. This was many years ago. The very beginning of this video, he's going to say a few things. As I mentioned earlier, when avatars, God realized beings, speak, everything, they're using every aspect of their being to speak. The mouth, the hands, the turn of the head, whatever it is they're doing. This is all part of their expression as the Godhead in the form of a language. And how many levels of these languages? Well, I can hear what he's saying. I watched his eyes. I watched why he turned this way and who he looked at and what that person means to me. And I understand how I feel. This is all language. The very beginning of this video, immediately, in fact, he's going to say, you need to have self-confidence. I'm going to get back to confidence in a minute. On the video, I'm going to show you that I had no idea that I did last about confidence and how it equals immunity. Confidence is inner strength. What is immunity? A strong inner system. And I'm going to play you an excerpt from that. So this is all lining up, and I'm grateful. But you're going to hear Swamji and watch his body language. This was years ago. He talks about, at the very beginning of this video, self-confidence, self-discipline, and self-control, self-support, We have all we need and don't need anything from the outside. This is my insert. Is the best support we have to support ourselves. What I want you to notice in this first entrance into this video, as he's talking and he laid self-confidence, self-support, all this, he says self-encouragement. It's analogous to the times we are living in. Not about whether you choose that or not. It's about that is the face of stealing your freedom and your sovereignty away from you. He will say self-encouragement, and he does this spot. So what is self-encouragement or encouraging others? It's confidence. It's creating confidence. So in closing, in this final statement before we get to the video with Swamji, I read it all. I remembered it. God on earth today wants to deliver to all of us a very powerful message. Open up. He is also going to be talking about the background of this picture. He says it's going to happen. Going to happen meaning in his ability at the time he shared that. This is what's coming down the pipe. But we have the power this second, this minute, this hour to change it. Maybe such information coming out tonight brings it to enough of us to deter such prophecy. You are the living word. Listen to his words carefully. I'll see you shortly.
Self-confidence, self-discipline, self-control, and self-support is best to support. We have to support ourselves, and we have to encourage ourselves. At any time we should not be depressed and discouraged. I never discourage at any time. So I want you all also not to discourage. Wait, we will succeed. We failed now, today. Don't be suppressed, don't be discouraged, don't be depressed. Tomorrow or day after tomorrow, we will succeed. We have to try sincerely again and again and again until we succeed. We have to take the example of the great spiritual leaders and social leaders of the world.
Thank you, Swamji, for being here today, enlightening me, helping me to alleviate some of the things that move through my mind, but more importantly, through my heart. But as I look out and about in the world,
I told about you. Don't think about that failure, this failure, what is happening in there, what is happening in that country, why that people in that country are threatening the whole world. Let them threaten. What will happen? A day will come when any person hits any nuclear weapon to harm our country. If we work with pure heart, we can invent an instrument. What that instrument can do, it will throw away that nuclear weapon and hits that person who throw that. A day will come. You understand my...
I do. Thank you.
So, unitedly, my humble request, appeal to you all, to the intellectuals and leaders of the world, don't create confusion. Don't create confusion. Don't pollute the nature. Don't pollute the nature. Don't pollute the minds of the people. Don't pollute the minds of the youth, the children. So, try to make them pure. Pure. Mind pure. Water's pure. Nature pure. Clean and green. We are putting clean and green. But what? We have to put into practice that. We have to practice. I wish you grand success. So, unitedly, we have to make the world abode of the peace. With this universal praise, I will conclude. Repeat it. You also repeat it. One we are.
One we are.
We are all one.
We are all one.
One family.
One family.
Only one family.
Only one family.
We are all only one family.
We are all only one family.
I, you, he, she,
I, you, he, she,
this and that and all.
this and that and all.
We are all universal family.
We're all universal family.
Whatever the religion may be,
Whatever the religion may be,
whatever the race may be,
whatever the race may be,
whatever the nation may be,
whatever the nation may be,
whatever the language may be,
whatever the language may be,
we are all human beings.
we're all human beings.
We are all human family.
We're all human family.
Let us unite
Let us unite
in the name of humanity.
in the name of humanity.
Let us unite
Let us unite
for peace and prosperity.
for peace and prosperity.
Let us unite
Let us unite
for ourselves and for all.
for ourselves and for all.
Let us unite
Let us unite
for our Mother Earth
for our Mother Earth
and the universe.
and the universe.
Unity makes us strong and peaceful.
Unity makes us strong and peaceful.
Unity brings us bliss and prosperity.
Unity brings us bliss and prosperity.
If we unite,
If we unite,
we can make miracles.
we can make miracles.
If we unite,
If we unite,
we can throw away
we
poverty.
can throw away poverty.
If we unite,
If we unite,
we can make the earth a heaven.
we can make the earth a
If
heaven.
we unite,
If we unite,
we can bring the Lord to the
we
earth.
can bring the Lord to the earth.
Unity is our strength.
Unity is our strength.
Humanity is our life.
Humanity is our life.
Unity is our strength.
Unity is our strength.
Humanity is our life.
Humanity is our life.
Unity is our strength.
Unity is our strength.
Humanity is our life.
Humanity is our
So
life.
I have told that this the universal plague, it is the reaction of a little heart of the little boy in Seattle, Rishi, that we can, if we make the people, the children, they can enlighten the human values and they can spread our message and mystery. So let take the children into your hands. Don't pollute them. Inculcate, enlighten human values in them. Let them love each and every one. Fill the heart with love. Fill the mind with peace and spread love and peace wherever you go. So now some organizations, they are giving do or die. No, I don't, I condemn. Do or die is not a motto. Live and let live. Live and let others live. Smile and let others smile. That must be motto of each and every person.
Welcome back to Center of Light. Kelly Bauman says, has anyone else noticed the light around Swamiji? You will see there is always light around Swamiji. It could be the sun. It doesn't matter what it is. He's always in the light. For those who are just arriving, who is Swamiji? The same Christ, Maitreya, that lived in Jesus, lived in Buddha, lived in any divine being, is the same light that lives in Swamiji. That is Swamiji. Just by seeing him sitting in that chair, you receive what's called Shaktipat, the gift of light taking in by your eyes. Not only is he, me, and the we of it all, and the chair, and the sofa, and your TV, that's all radiated light. The difference is, this is conscious light radiating with a will and an intention and a purpose driven into all of us just by taking in his divine holy light. And the words themselves as well, his gestures, it's all movement by the divine consciousness. That's who Swamiji is. Most people will never see a divine avatar. That's okay. It doesn't make anybody better than anybody else. It just makes us fortunate to be able to take in such Shaktipat that changes on a molecular level, at a quark level. In fact, scientists keep looking for mass, and they went down from the meat suit to the atomic to the subatomic, and they keep going further and further and further. They find less and less mass in more empty space. He occupies consciously all space. He's omnipresent. You will see him and hear him say something to me. Later I'm going to play a video about asking him, what is it like to be you? What is your reality? Good question, right? So I did talk about a minute ago how Swamiji said We need encouraging each other. Encouragement, confidence. I did a presentation some days ago about confidence equals immunity. So how do we become immune to all of the attack of this time that we're living in? Confidence. Stand up. Be strong. Strong like bull. Erect yourself. You're a divine child of the living light. Let's look at what confidence is, and we're going to move on to some initiations I had, which is only a reflection of you. It's your initiation, integration, and graduation yourself. Confidence. Confidence. What do I suggest as a teacher? I understand. We go through life. Life is meant to be tough. Well, Keith, if it's meant to be tough, then why do we want to ascend into a better place? That's the point. It's tough to do the work so that we can ascend to another place, to bring heaven down to earth in this space with the grace that we let fall upon us, within us. You see, it's an amusement park. Some people want the Ferris wheel, some people want the roller coaster. I like both. But we're here to do work. Play, rather. Gather yourself and as many of your people in your tribe as you can, and share with them your newfound confidence, your old world confidence from where you come from. Who are you now, and where are you going? Confidence. We need to become the strength of the world. Don't concede. Don't say uncle. Don't give in. You don't want the them to win. Who is the them? It's irrelevant. Let's look at the elephant in the room. It's me, and you, and we. And what we must do is stand strong, have inner strength, be confident as we traverse, navigate, brave the wilderness. There's a storm coming. So what do? We be confident. We be like Peter, the rock. We stand tall. The storm can bitch all it wants. I am in the eye of the storm. I am the eye of the storm. The devil can tempt me all he wants. Devil, I'm going to quote that. I am of the Christ principle. I have no interest in what you're offering to me and your tomfoolery. Stand up. Be confident. We're all going to need it. There's a storm coming, a blizzard, if you will, and it's going to start this mid to late fall. Don't fall for the bullshit. Don't fall for the nonsense. Because everything that makes any sense at all lives inside of you. But I'm asking you, be very, very careful as you go inside. Go inside with confidence, but be careful what you think is that what you're hearing is how things are. Be willing to be incorrect. That'll launch you into another level of depth, to a higher capacity, to understand. I just simply don't know. Something says, well, here's your knowing. I got it for you. Say, thank you very much. I'm not doubting you, but I am confident that there is more. And if you think there's more, there is always more. And if you think there is more, there is always more. And if you think there is more, there are always more. So what you do is you look at these things incrementally. You go, I got an epiphany today. Do I know it's true? Feels good. Doesn't feel so good. But I was taught that. Well, if it doesn't feel so good, it's not right. And it will not lead you down the road to immunity and confidence. It feels good. Fantastic. But I want to feel better. So you put that on the shelf as well. And then you're wanting to experience greater degrees of immunity. I am unity, I'm unity, and confidence, which is the gateway to bliss. always take those things that you think are the end game and continue to put them on the shelf. And Spirit will say, oh my God, you are so hungry for spiritual food and spiritual manna. I will continue to play Santa and give you all the awareness and graceful, confident, immune gifts that you can handle. That's still not enough. I want more than I can handle. I want out of the scandal. I'm done. I've won. I choose those things that are beautiful. What is the most beautiful thing that has ever been, is now, or can ever be created? Here's a test in your confidence, my confidant. There. You are the most beautiful thing that has ever been, is now, or can ever be created. When you take that into your ears and down into your heart, how does it make you feel? There is your gauge. There is your barometer. That is the deal. I love you beyond measure. Peace, love, and we all need you. Welcome back to Center of Light. Keep moving forward. You are loved beyond measure. This is just not some guy at his house doing a presentation. I am fully invested in. I am vested. I have vested interest. I am invested in myself. Really, I'm invested in you. And I would hope the reciprocal to be true. This is it. The train is leaving the station. In fact, it's left the station and we're running behind the caboose to get on, all of us. I hope you are on this train. What I'm going to play now are two snippets of my two snippets of my time with Swamiji. What I am asking you to do, because we talked about Shaktipat, what you hear is affecting you and all that you got, but also what you see, you are taking in conscious, intentful radiated light that's being moved to you, rather through you, via Swamiji as the Christ principle that lives in all of us. Basically, Jesus is saying, hello, can you see me as I'm truly making an intention to move to you, through you, for you, with you. So what I want to share with you is two initiations I went through. Also listen to the dialogue before. What I want you to do is when you see my time personally with Swamiji, which I don't really have, because I'm here for humanity, like we all are. I have my vanity, I understand, but that's my driving force to make sure that I do the work / play that I came here to do. When you see me with Swamiji, let me see which one this is. I got it. At the end of this presentation, about 5 minutes long, 3 minutes long, whatever it is, he's going to call me over and he's going to start rubbing my back. He's going to pat me on my back and you're going to see him rub my spine. My sister Anjana said he was raising your Kundalini and my life has changed since then because of. What I want you to do is close your eyes or watch it with your eyes open, but imagine this is you. This is the point. You are a forerunner, front runner. Congratulations. Imagine this is happening to you because as you're taking it in, Shaktipat, it is happening to you. So why not bring it in with your own conscious awareness to receive such an initiative gift? And then I'm going to read you something. Let me make sure I got my notes right. Actually, I'm going to read you my notes now. This is the lucid experience I had last night when I was more conscious in that lucid experience than I was when I woke up this morning. I got on my phone at 4 o'clock in the morning and started writing it out with one finger, holding the other finger, and it took me an hour. This is now. There are lots of metaphors. Metaphors are real. They're real metaphors, but some of it is absolutely true. So let me read to you, share with you, what transpired last night. And I sent it to my sister, Anjana, who is Swamji's associate. She gives him shelter when he comes to Memphis, kind of thing. Here we go. Let me find. Did I not? Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the video and then I'm going to go find what I wrote. Yeah, and we'll come back from there. My time with Swamji. Remember, when you see me become intimate with Swamji, this is actually you. We all are a reflection of each other. He's going to excite my Kundalini, the snake in the spine, the caduceus in the medical field. This is the field and the arena we're in. I'll see you shortly.
I'm very happy to be with you all. I wish you grand success and I wish you all, I appeal you to unite and to do something good for the welfare of the world and to make the world abode of the peace. We have to smile and we have to make others to smile. Lastly, I will sing this song and conclude. Smile and smile, smile again. Work and worship, happiness to gain. Smile and smile, smile again. Work and worship, happiness to gain. Why fear? Why worry? Why fear? Why worry when He is there to lead us all? Why fear? Why worry? Why fear? Why worry when He is there to lead us all? Who is He? He is only one. There is only one God for the whole universe. He is omnipotent and omnipresent. There is only one religion, the religion of love. There is only one caste, the caste of humanity. There is only one language, the language of the heart. And there is only one law, the law of duty. This must be the motto of each and every person on the earth in the world. Then unitedly we can make the world abode of the peace. That is my ambition, desire. For that purpose I am wandering like a madman from house to house, county to county, country to country, inch to inch. Wish you grand success.
Thank you. My name is Keith Blanchard, Center of Light Radio, every Monday night, 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. I want to say thank you to Anjana and a beautiful family, Raj, Dave, Mona Winfrey, and all these wonderful people that warmly accept me into this beautiful place in their beautiful hearts and beautiful home. I bid you all a wonderful evening. Good evening.
Salva Ganesan. Photo. Lakshmi, am I weak? Am I weak? Into. Ra. చప్పట్లు కొట్టండి.
Welcome back to Center of Light. I did find what I was going to read earlier. Swamji, some years ago, rubbed my spine. He didn't just give me a pat on the back or a scratch because I was itching. He knew I was itching for something greater. If you did the visualization exercise, you have been initiated via Shaktipat. God doesn't make mistakes. You're perfectly here for a perfect reason in this moment. Congratulations. I'm so happy to be in the heart space with you. The heart space of forever. This is what transpired last night, which will correlate to the video I just played last night. It inspired me so much, I had no choice but to divulge the things I did a little earlier. A friend of mine, myself, a husband and wife, and a little child that I've been seeing on Facebook for the last couple of years, Christ child, toddler, and others were in the husband and wife's house. Somehow, something was brewing up in the world, the outside world. The husband was a genius. He was a good-looking man. He looked like Robert Reed, the father from the Brady Bunch. Just a good-looking man, wholesome man. He knew things that others didn't. Early in his years, he wrote a message to himself by creating codes that no one else could decipher but himself. He knew something major was coming in the future. Early in the dream, I was shown a face of a young man that looked like Elijah Wood, the actor Elijah Wood from The Hobbits. You know that person, Elijah Wood. Supernatural events begin to unfold slowly but surely. Tonight is Center of Light, Shirley. Tonight is Temple. Center of Light, Shirley Temple. Have a good laugh. Myself, my friend, and the wife were in a bedroom. I told them I was starting to feel sort of weird. I got up and saw that that little child was okay. I went to check on him, and he was sleeping. I went back into the room and sat on the bed with my friend and the wife. That weird feeling came in again. I told them that I felt like I needed to vessel or go into channel. So as I started to do that, that's when things got really weird. I'm leaned up against the back of the wall on the headboard of the bed, right? Other things were happening here and there. It was late night, I know. We were in this experience late night, 10 o'clock and whatever. Kids were spread out everywhere in the house and sleeping or watching TV when I checked in on that little baby. In the room with my friend and the wife, I started channeling Mother Mary. Now things got really supernatural. I knew that I was going down. I knew that what was going down was magical and scary. In the room, channeling with my friend and the wife, I began to levitate as I was channeling Mother Mary. They noticed something as they looked at me with surprise, but I didn't find out what that was till later. Things outside began to pick up. I could feel it. The little child came into the room and was playing a kid's guitar. And as he was playing that kid's guitar, I heard something from upward that said to stop. I heard something coming from upward, and I told the little boy, stop playing for a second. I need to hear this. And I heard a voice say from above, very angrily, don't play that organic shit and don't stop playing what I want to hear. I looked in this room to find the angry voice, and as I peeked through a crack by the wall, I saw something long as it was moving around, and I started to pull on it. It pulled back as if it was holding it. The scene then went outside, and somehow, whatever was holding that long thing that I pulled on brought me there outside, which was in the husband and wife's small backyard, surrounded by a chain-linked fence. The sky was very dark and ominous. There was lots of movement in the sky. UFOs, military jets, Black Hawk helicopters, lots of military coming towards us. my friend, myself, the husband, and the wife. These people, the military, not blaming our military, this is a depiction of how I'm describing what was going, the bad people. These people were looking for something or a someone. The someone I mentioned earlier as the one I announced. As all of this is coming our way, as it got closer, I ran over to the husband who was using a wooden barrel, like a barrel used to brew beer. He was using it as a table. He pulls out those index cards, those codes that he taught himself that no one else could understand. He pulled out some index cards that he wrote on to show me the coded message he wrote from years before. He gave it to me to look at as he deciphered the messages meaning to me. In that moment, before I could hear his message to me, I was separated from the whole group. I find myself back in the house looking for something. I don't know what it was I was looking for. Moving through the house, trying to find a something that made sense as to why I was there in the first place. A force literally picks me off of my feet, like by my arms, and meanders me through this hallway, which was in a hidden room. So in other words, when you look at this room, it looked just like the end of this little niche. But if you took a right and you took a left, but nobody knew to do that, so no one ever tried to do it. So this force picks me up off of my feet, pushes me in the room, takes me to the right, and pushes me down this little foyer and brings me right in front of a mirror. And when this force realized I was not seeing what it wanted me to see, it literally said, basically with its motion, look in the mirror, Keith. And as I looked in front of this mirror, I was freaked out. What I saw in this mirror freaked me the fuck out. Because what I was looking at in this mirror was not my face at all. It was that dark-haired, handsome young man, Elijah Wood. I said to the force that picked me up, "Who is that?" The voice whispered very softly in my left ear. "Take a good look, Keith." I said, "That does not look like me." The voice responded, "It's Jesus." Doesn't mean I'm Jesus. It means I, me, we, all of us are reflections of that. The voice responded, "It's Jesus." I said, "Well then, who am I looking in the mirror? I don't see myself as I always had." And Spirit says, "That is because you are Jesus. You are Jesus. We are all it." And this is the end game that we also need to realize. We need to put that on the shelf as well, as mentioned earlier, to become the personification of all possibilities. Now, I know why my friend and the wife's face had looked surprised when I was channeling Mother Mary, because my face had morphed right in front of them. And this is what the man wrote in code that he wanted to tell me. The voice then said, "Go back outside and solve this problem taking place." I asked, "How do I do that?" The voice said, "Use your powers." I asked, "How do I use my powers? Do I say the name of Swamji? Om Sri Sai Ram Guru Devadatta?" And the voice responded, "No. Use your will by commanding. Use your hands by waving things away. Flee from me. You are not real." Kind of thing. Just use the power of my infinite Christed being to say, "I am not interested." The voice then levitated me again and brought me outside, and I started commanding this command, that command as a Christ would, waving my hands like, "Be gone." My power did not work on one person in particular. The angry person from the upstairs room that said, "No more organic music." I tried to use my power again on him. It still didn't work. But my power did accidentally hit a lady who was holding, my power did accidentally hit a lady who he was holding and was trying to hurt. And because of my accident, she died. I was concerned that I was the one who killed her. The voice told me in my left ear, don't worry, she was supposed to die. This is a true story in life. Many years ago, about 1995, and reoccurring, I would often have dreams that I was pulling a long something out of my throat through my mouth, a long snake-like tube. At that time, I thought it was congested snot or mucus. I would pull, and I'm telling you, my friends, my brothers and sisters, I would pull this for eons in my dream and just pull this out. In my experience from last night and where I left off, suddenly something prompted me to again reach into my mouth with this man that I was trying to use my powers against as I pulled this snake-like tube from my throat. After about 3 or 4 good pulls, when the tube was about 3 foot long, it broke. And when it broke, a liquid started spouting out from it and splashed this man or demon that the powers did not work on. The liquid that came out of this tube thing from my throat landed on him. That affected him as he went upward into a plane or a ship to flee. I'm going to remind you about this snake, this tube, in a moment. Laughing with the devil's laugh as he left, kind of thing. He threw shiny things out of the craft that landed on the ground. My curiosity, I walked over to pick one of these things up to see what it was. They were self-discharging bullets. After they fired off, they threw out long, thick needles. Not about those who choose them or not, but your attack on freedom. They threw out long, thick needles or rods. Key word here, I'm going to get back to the word rods. Everywhere, as I was hit as well as a few other people. The same rod he dangled earlier in that room that I grabbed hold of with the little child when he was playing guitar. I then woke up, wrote all of this down, and went back to sleep. It started all over again. But this time, I stood out in the backyard while the Black Hawk helicopters were spitting bullets everywhere. I was hit again, and this is what came to my heart at the end of this experience. Psalm 23:4. Even though I walk through the valley, of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Here's the reference to the word rod I use in the negative way. For you are with me, your rod and your staff, they comfort me. Rod here is a scriptural passage compared to the rods that came out of those bullets. Rods, needles, relating to this time period, question mark. This is the other scriptural passage that came to me in this experience. 2 Timothy 1:7. For God hath not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of sound mind. When I sent my experience to my sister, associate of Swamji, this morning, she said, wow, that's powerful. This applies to all of us, not just Keith. Your divinity, this is her response to me about my experience last night. Your divinity will come forth and your work in this world will begin, as was said in my house. The video I showed you a minute ago, and which I'm going to show you again shortly, the final one. The snake you pulled out is your kundalini. When you saw Swamji tap me on my back, the kundalini is the fire that through many, many incarnations is to rise through the divine fire all the way to the top of the head, which you see in this image here of the meditative one. The light moving from the base of the spine to the top of the head. The top of the head means you realize yourself, which is infinite God fire, infinite realization. Jesus, Buddha, Krishna, Mother Mary, Satya Sai Baba, Swamiji, Paramahansa Yogananda. The snake you pulled is the Kundalini energy that has risen in this dreamscape for all of us, and will give you the energy to manifest and command. Use it for good. The role of each of us in the spiritual path is to realize that we are one. That's why you were shown as Jesus. Most of us spend lifetimes to recognize the truth that even though we know it academically, you are reaching that stage. We are all reaching that stage. That's the reason Swamiji transferred energy to you to awaken that. And the patting of the spine, the visualization that you've done, now belongs to you because you are daughter or son of the divine. This is not happening by accident. I have not seen him do that to anyone, meaning physically, meaning my time with Swamiji, that video you saw. Your inner self will be revealed soon. Our inner selves will be revealed soon. Always use this energy for good, for his mission, his work. I wish I could overcome my fear. This is personal. This is where we are. We are in crossing the threshold into the land. Final video with Swamiji. It's called, I titled this Swamiji Power Up. The reason I was able to power up in this video with Swamiji is because he opened me up those years ago by rubbing my Kundalini. Otherwise, I could not take in this power. I would have truly just perforated. I would have exploded. He opened me up so I can do the work to ready myself, which he already knew in that moment was coming. It's all God's will. Will you participate in this initiation, integration, and graduation of yourself? As I go through it via example, you, my friend, are ample enough to yourself via the Shaktipat to imagine this is you. Imagination is everything. Everything exists because of imagination. Use your imagination. He will also, toward the end, explain Yanava, what this is. When I ask him this question, this is what you are at your essence. As David says, we are all it. This is the time to become it. For it is what you are. Bring it into your conscious awareness, and you become the divine rock star. I'll see you shortly. There is always light on Swamiji, always.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate you. I am very happy. I am very happy. 24 hours, no rest. I never tired. Only little food. And sleep, no sleep. If I go to trance, then only. Trance is different from sleep.
I did have a question I want to ask you. What is it like to be you?
What is life?
What does it feel like to be you in your state of reality? I know what it feels like to be me because I've expanded a lot in my growing. But I've always been curious to know what it feels like. I'm sure words probably don't describe it enough. But what is it like to be in Swamiji's reality?
There is power. There is power, all pervading, everywhere. Just like current. Current is everywhere, according to science also. Current is in the coal, current is in the water, electricity. The current is in each and every atom also. So everywhere current is there. But if I put a bulb, taking the coal, is it lightning? It is not giving light. It is not making the bulb to give light. If I put a bulb in the water, it is not giving the light. But there is a scientific process to extract the power, current in that water, in that coal. The scientists know, and the scientists, they extract, they store, and they bring to our house. Then if we connect to the house, we will be able to get the benefits. If it comes to the bulb, it is giving light. If it comes to the fan, it is giving air. If it comes in the radio, it is giving sound. If it comes into the TV, it is giving sound and view, sight. In the AC room, transforming, the changing the atmosphere.
And you have the awareness.
Yes, connection, having the connection. That is yoga. Yoga means having connection.
Unity, right?
Connection with our mind, the universal mind, with the power which is existing, which is omnipotent and omnipresent. The current is all the wires are current is there in our house. Take an example in our house. Wiring is the electricity is doing wiring work, and he is putting the
Sockets.
somewhere.
Yeah.
If we want to have connection, we are not touching the wire. If we touch the wire, it will shock. So we are putting connection here. There is a method. With that method, we are taking the current. Same way.
Thank you.
So if I take your hand like this,
We all felt that.
so you can experience it yourself. There is a connection from here to the heart. If I want to transmit to the heart, I need not touch the heart. If the cardiologist wants to do angiogram, he is not opening the heart. From here, he is sending, and along with the bulb, water bubble, and he is sending stent, and stent is going there, and in the same way, that is the transmission, Shakti part, that is Shakti part.
I felt it.
So not only touching, even if I look at a person's force will be, you can experience it. It is science. It is science. It is just like H2O. If two molecules of hydrogen and one molecule of oxygen combines, water comes. Don't think about that water, this water. We can create water ourselves. Taking two gases, oxygen and hydrogen, we can create pure water. Are we trying for that? The governments? No. They are polluting the water, polluting the soil. What is the main reason for the calamity in the Texas, Houston? You understand?
Yes.
Are you asking why it is happening? We are covering all the tanks, and we are constructing houses. There is no place for the rainwater to come and stay, and the water is coming and flooding the cities and towns. And we are breaking the కట్టనే ఏమంటారు ట్యాంక్ బండ్ so we are cutting the tank bund, water is coming. That is the main reason for Houston. Even not only here, in India also, in every country. No, the leaders should have not political view, social view. spiritual you, to give happiness to each and every person in the country. That's why I tell all the people, I don't want to tell about politics or politics, only spiritual and universal. That's all. Truth, only truth.
I have one more question, Swamiji. I do hear you, I'm assuming, I hear you a lot in here.
Not now. First time when you met me, I transmitted the power which is existing in the body. You experience it. You know that.
Yes. I heard you, I'm assuming it was you the
Not
other
only
day.
you're all.
Yes, that's right.
My instrument. My means not this body. The power which is existed in Christ, which existed in Buddha, which existed in each and every person. That is one. That is unique.
This is a personal question for me. Does this have any meaning?
What is the meaning of?
Yanava? Yanava?
Yeah.
కళ్ళు వచ్చి ఎవరో చెప్పారట అది. What was the story behind it?
I was in a meditation when all of my spiritual awakening started. And this name, Ya, Na, Va, came through, and I identified it in such a way, it felt like me on a spiritual level. And I want to ask you, did it have anything particular in the form of meaning that might be useful for me in my work? Or is it just a name like Keith or Angela?
You also listen to me carefully. This is the call of the Lord, the awakening of the Lord, to make us to do His work in this world on the earth. There are three granthis. Three granthi. Granthi means knot of nerve. Knot ante
Nerve center. Nerve center.
Nerve center.
nerve center. Three. One in the heart, another in the brain, another in the backbone. Heart, brain, backbone. In the heart, there is will power. Power of will is there. Power of will is in heart. The Ichha Shakti. In Sanskrit we call it Ichha Shakti. Power of will. Here in the brain, power of knowledge, intelligence is there. Power of knowledge, Jnana Shakti. Power of knowledge. The backbone, power of action is there. Power of action, Kriya Shakti. Ichha Shakti, power of will. Jnana Shakti, power of knowledge or intelligence. Kriya Shakti, power of action. So if we unfold the nerve centers, the power is coming like a fountain, the heart, and it touches the brain. It moves nerve, it unfolds the nerve center here, and the power of will makes the power of knowledge to enlighten, and it going through the backbone, it enlightens and unfolds the nerve system of power of action. According to medical science also, brain is giving orders and backbone is doing through nervous system. It is, they are telling, doctors are telling, but it is controlled by the heart. That is the one word, Yah, Na, Vah. Yaha, Yaha, Naha, Vaha. Ya, Na, Va, Ha, Ha, Ha. There is Ha, Ha is silent. Ha is silent. Ha, Ha, Ha. Ha is Akash Tattva, space. Akash Tattva. Ya, Na, Va. It represents three centers in our body. They are Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara. Vishnu, Brahma, Maheshwara. Creation, Lord, who wills, who gives jnana, and who gives the action. Three. So we have to unite. That is Datta Shakti. That is power. We have calling by different names. That is, it is not an illusion or illusion. It is real. It is a call. We receive the voice of the universal Lord through that is super conscious state, super conscious, unconscious, super conscious state. That is not unconscious state or sleeping state. That is super conscious state. If we mix and merge our mind with that mind, universal mind, we can't mix. Through Guru, we are doing that. Through Guru. We can do through Guru. Just like cell phone. If you want to call me in India, suppose I am in India, you are here, you want to call me, you are taking cell phone. Cell phone to my cell phone, there is no direct connection. You are having connection with this company, AT&T or anything. There another company we are having. That companies are having connection with the satellite connection. Immediately connection will be there. If we put the number, immediately going. The same thing. Same thing. If it is correct, it is also correct.
I've been waiting for years to find out
So
what
it
that
is,
meant. Thank you.
this is three powers. Three powers. The
Should I
power of
meditate
will.
on that name?
Yes. Will. First will.
Will, intellect,
It,
action.
we plan in the, according to will, we plan in the brain. Then brain
Action.
asks the backbone to do this and that through the organs of our body. Hands do one thing, legs do another thing, eyes do one thing, seeing, listening, talking or eating. Different kinds of organs do different things. Through different organs we are doing different things. So order is coming from the, and planning is here, willing is here. We will here, we plan here, we work. But are you received? Have you received the?
I'm full.
Thank you.
Are you satisfied? That is not a dream. That is the real fact.
I'm completely satisfied. Thank you very much for this beautiful day.
Under this also, yahana vaha na va ya. Na va ya va na. Oh, that is the bijakshara.
The sound that Swami made, yeah.
Seed letters.
They're actually the potent seeds of. Their bijaksharas are every mantra or powerful saying has a seed. And those are the powerful seed sounds.
Those there?
Yes.
Welcome back to Center of Light. Tonight has been about your awakening. You don't have to awaken. You are already awake. Do you see, for goodness sake, is what is the point, so to speak. It's for the meek to understand the language. Why does Swamiji and other avatars wear towels or cloth across their lap? It's because the power, this center here, the lower chakra base, is power. It's where the power comes from. Most people think it comes from the heart. It does, but this is actually the physical force of power that moves upon whatever experience. The heart is the instigator, the intention of such power. Ya, na, va, yaha, na, vaha. The will, the planner, and the doer. So the cloth or towel over these avatars' lap is because it buffers the light. It buffers the power. When I'm around Swamiji, or any of us around these levels of consciousness, We would explode. It would fry us. So it's there as a buffer. Tonight's banner is, again, not about the image you see, but it is relevant to the idea and the experience that we see all around us. It's dumbfounded us, but it is profound. And in its profoundedness, we will find and refine ourselves. There is a great possibility for an explosion, not really an exchange. Someone is going to launch an attack beyond all the other attacks that we have been seeing in today's world. So it's not about whether you do the inoculation or not. It's about your freedom is taken away because of an agenda. Your choice is your freedom. And they're trying to make it not about your freedom. David says, Jesus is love. And so that is. And I love me some Jesus, and so that is. So now that we are all prepared for a great potential that can happen. Well, I'm not going to like it then either, Keith. Neither will I. Is it possible, because we're so thick-headed, that that's exactly what needs to happen to unite the world? But if we unite the world before, there's no need for such things to ever take place. It's always the case. All the calamities in the world happen because we are not uniting. If we unite, heaven on earth becomes established. And what happens in heaven on earth? Not calamities. This is the lesson that I'm pressing home to myself. We are all here, as well as those who are illuminated, that want to take us into our birthright. Every day, every night, every second. We're moving into that direction. What may be coming down the pike, it will require all of us to be balanced, solid, and planted. Granted, it will move us, but it's supposed to. It will groove us because it's supposed to. If we were aligned in accordance with the divine will, we would not be going through this shit. But yet we are. Either way, the divine will happen. For those who are awake and for those who are napping, I'm ready. I'm wanting it. I'm longing for it. Nervous, and I'm working on that. I love people. I don't like seeing pain, suffering. The innocent, which really, honestly, no one is, but yet we are. We're all innocent divine children, but when it comes to the human meat suit guys dance experience, no one is absolved of karma. No one. Past, present, and future pharma, no one is absolved. That's the dance. That's the sacred dance of Kali and Shiva. As we lift the Kundalini and the spine, the Va, so we can take appropriate action and use the planner, the Na, and the instigator of the divine deliciousness, the Ya, Na, Va, Yaha, Naha, Vaha. We all have work to do. We got to get busy because it's about to get busy. It's not time to be dizzy. We know who we are. We have a greater understanding of the potential that's coming. In so doing, we can rearrange the course of events. In any event, it's about changing ourselves. That being said, I am going to see you either way, one day, in the land of freedom, in the garden of the cosmic sandbox, in the infinite space of grace. I love seeing you in this place. Center of Light Radio, TV. God bless you and yours.